Hello, Schmoeville. Well, it is episode 24 into phase 2 of the podcast. If you're new to the podcast, then you do not want to miss this one. If you have been a fan of the podcast for a long time, this is one of the most historical episodes of all time because of a historical moment that goes down. Ellis was out of town for this one, so it was just myself and Catherine, and we were joined by frequent guest Katee Sackhoff, who was making her second appearance on the podcast at the time. We talked to Katee about all the stuff that she was doing, and we talked a lot about year one and a lot of cool stuff that she got into. But the reason this is such a memorable episode is because this is where the prank of Jeremy Jahns went down. At the time, Catherine Reitman was kind of starting on YouTube, and she had reached out to Jeremy to, tell him she was a fan and blah, 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 to talk, and he never responded. So we were going to play with that a little bit, and we came up with a funny idea because he was a big fan of Katee Sackhoff, and I don't want to ruin it for you because if you haven't seen it, it's worth listening to in this one. It's a great episode. It's a lot of fun. Katie's always fun when she comes in. Anyway, the back and forth between just myself, Catherine, and her was fun, not to mention how epic this phone call was once Jeremy called in. So, again, enjoy this episode. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and remember, Phase 5 is starting very soon, April 3rd, 7 to 9 p.m. You can find the live episode on schmoesno.com, and you'll be able to call in the whole deal. It's going to be a big, big show. We're recording from AfterBuzz Studios, owned by Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos. It's a lot of fun, so a lot of cool things happening, guys. Enjoy this episode 24.
All right, guys, back on the Schmoesno podcast, and Catherine?
Yes, sir.
Do you hear that?
Oh, my God.
That's peace.
Oh, it feels so nice.
That's quiet.
Anyone want a massage?
That means that Mark Ellis is finally gone.
Oh, sigh of relief.
Now, our guest here is wondering what the hell happened with Mark Ellis. Why is he not here? Let me introduce our guest, first of all, before we get to
Get
Ellis.
ready.
You guys may or may not know of her. Chances are, if you know this show, you do. For sure, she is the lovely, the beautiful Katee Sackhoff. Hello, Katee.
Hi.
Katee.
Yeah, where's Mark? Did he die?
No,
Oh,
here's
boy.
what
I mean,
happened.
if you said yes,
This is
I'd be really
awkward.
upset.
All right, here's what happened.
Just say it slowly, because
All
it's
right.
just weird.
He still does the reviews, okay? But he has a very loud voice.
Yeah.
The listeners are complaining about it often.
Oh, you're kidding.
He's also sexist, kind of. He's
He's-
just not a big fan of women.
And he was just getting to a point where, like, we were getting a lot of complaints, and we're like, we had to sit down, and I was like, Mark, maybe now is the time that you kind of sit back from doing the podcast and instead just do the reviews. It got a little physical, but nothing like, too,
Well, nothing you couldn't handle.
so it was like, I'm kidding. He's in La Jolla.
He slapped you with his penis?
Why did you cut it off so
I cut
quick?
it off because
You
this
didn't
is
even let her react.
This is going to go on forever.
Okay,
I'm
seriously,
kidding.
she was getting upset.
upset.
No, I was actually getting upset, but I kind of believed it.
Good.
How
You
about
told
that?
us.
Like,
Christian, you didn't even let her
bailed.
respond.
I know,
No.
I bailed on it
You
because
would be terrible on Punked.
and that's why I didn't get cast. I made it to the final round, and then they told
And
me to
you
get
didn't
lost.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I did his
No,
other
it's
show,
fine.
The Real Wedding Crashers, where we crashed real weddings.
It was Steve
And-
Byrne, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Steve
yeah.
Byrne, Gareth Reynolds, a bunch of funnies, Ben Glebe. And you have to wait until you feel like you're bleeding inside because you feel
I
so
know.
terribly for the other
Kate's
person.
been such a good friend. I don't want to keep her on forever. But that being said, but listen, I have a chance to redeem myself today
Okay.
because we're going to punk, if you will, Jeremy Jahns. And for those listeners out there who know the show, obviously are familiar with Jeremy Jahns as well. He's co-hosted. He's one of the bigger YouTube movie reviewers.
Very funny.
And we're going to really let him have it, but that's going to be later on in the show. We are here to talk to Katee Sackhoff.
All right.
I wish that I actually had stuff to talk about.
Oh,
Like,
you're full of it. You have so much to talk about.
Not
Are you kidding?
really.
You're full of crap. I was going to say there's someone has something going on, and it's definitely not me.
Not me.
It's not Catherine.
Nope.
So
It's the other
It's the
Catherine.
other Catherine.
It is.
That's right. And
There you go.
now listen, Katee, first of all, was our first guest ever on the podcast.
What was it like the first time working with these jerks?
You had to hold a mic like you were in a karaoke bar.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Like
I
84.
completely blocked it
It's true.
out.
She's like, I'm not. I don't remember. Was that the time Taz was there? No, that was not.
No, that was the second one, I think. No, that was
Yeah.
live.
That which one?
Well,
no,
not live, but that was
the
video.
first one. Yeah, we had a.
That was the first
no, that was the
review I
one.
did.
No, that was the review. No,
That wasn't
was
the podcast.
No, that wasn't the podcast.
Okay.
That's how many times Katee has been on this show.
Has
She's a
Christian grown as a performer, would you say? You can be honest. You can be honest.
I was actually going to say when he started talking, then I was like, what is this radio voice thing? What are you doing?
I can hear myself.
like
When the microphone is not on, he doesn't sound anywhere this professional.
Thank you.
It's like, I feel like I'm in like a booth of 1-900 callers.
Right.
Wow.
With your
see?
voice.
So-
Call now, you'll get a T-shirt.
That's where I was going with that. But anyway, okay. Well, I don't have Ellis to bounce off of, but
Because he's fired.
because he's fired. Right? No, Ellis is actually performing in La Joie in La Jolla right now, and he is he's out there cracking jokes, and he is going to be calling in probably not this podcast, but another one. But anyway, I wanted to talk to Katee because Katie's got a lot of stuff going on right now, and you're full of it. You have well. Let's talk about Longmire.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
Why not?
Sounds good.
I mean, we can talk about that.
Yeah, tell us about it.
We didn't cover this.
We did briefly last time.
Oh, but it hadn't been picked up.
Well,
so it was
you didn't
like,
know what was going on with it yet, but now it's like it's full deal. It's
yeah.
What's going on?
It's kind of nice. It's,
what is this?
Longmire is the lead character, Walt Longmire, in a series of books written by Craig Johnson about a sheriff in a small Wyoming town.
Cool.
And I play Vic, one of the deputies who's moved from Philadelphia.
So you're a big city girl
Yeah. Did you
moving
do
to
an
a small
accent?
town.
She was a homicide detective and then moved to Wyoming, and they were like, "Do you want to? How about you're a deputy now?" And they kind of like send her out to do all the shit work. Like there's a scene with me trying to find evidence in a field covered in snow with a hairdryer.
No.
Like the entire field, and my character's just like, "Are you fucking kidding me? No,
Right.
I haven't found the bullets."
Where
so
can I
it's-
get a decent cappuccino?
Right? It's exactly. I mean, that's what I was actually thinking. My acting was so good that we did one take because I was
Right.
like,
What the fuck is this?
Right.
I was so freezing. And that was like,
Do you throw out a Philadelphia accent?
there's certain words they didn't
Okay.
want it.
What's a
really,
word
really,
that's a Philadelphia accent?
Well, you have to say Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. So your like mouth is full of cream cheese while you're saying it. yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So it was one of those things where they didn't want it to be like thick.
Right.
And so I may incorporate it a bit more when we actually start shooting and can kind of flesh out the character.
So
a
it's
bit,
been
but
picked up.
It just got picked up for 9.
And which
what the
TNT?
fuck is that?
TNT?
9?
Wait, what's
It's A&E.
A&E.
Okay.
Very cool.
9 including the pilot, so 10 episodes. I guess that's what
That's
cable
weird.
does.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know.
Who knows? I mean, they do shit like that all the time. I mean, even when they didn't know that Walking Dead was going to be what it was. I guess 6 is a little more normal than 9, but
Yeah, I
Right.
don't know. It's one of those. So I mean, I guess it is what would be considered a full order for a first season,
Right.
and then you get to 13, I guess. But listen, I don't want to do any more than that. I signed on to do a cable show because it wouldn't be as hard as
Right.
a regular. Because I did those 2 pilots for networks.
Right, but how many
and wanted
episodes?
to kill myself.
But then once you guys were in like season 4 or 5 for Battlestar, you did shit tons of episodes.
we were, and I was miserable
Yeah.
and sick. I wasn't miserable. I mean, I was. Yeah, well, I was miserable.
Yeah.
And I was living in Canada.
Towards the end, yeah.
Towards the end, and
Yeah.
I was sick, and I was just like, get me out of here.
Right.
I didn't
Where did
wanna,
where did you shoot that?
in Vancouver.
I see
And
a lot of
listen,
rain.
I love me some Canadians.
Me too. You're looking at one.
I've talked a lot of shit about them.
Take it
Were you
easy.
born in Canada?
No, but that's my heritage.
Well, you're not Canadian.
You're not
born
Canadian.
My brother was born there. I'm like
Well,
a
you're-
second away.
Stop
Well,
it, but you weren't born
I have
there.
a dual citizenship.
That means
That
nothing.
doesn't mean shit.
What are you talking
means
about?
nothing.
You're like Trisha
I feel like
Helfer,
I'm
who
getting
married an
attacked.
American because she was embarrassed. to
I will
That's
eat
right.
poutine in front of you.
I will meet you at the tree in Edmonton.
I know what that is, actually. That's French fries and gravy.
And cheese curd,
And cheese.
non-Canadian.
Close. Sorry.
I will watch hockey in
sorry.
here.
That is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard
Someone's
in my
here.
entire life.
Don't be rude. There's no reason to be rude. I like you so much.
Really? I mean, cheese curd. What is that,
It's-
like the
it's
abortion shot?
First of all, how dare you?
I mean, it like curdles in the lime
No,
juice or
it
something?
sounds grosser than it is. Once you put it in your
Really?
mouth, you'll
I'll be
be
back
like,
in about 20
I
minutes.
don't think it could sound grosser. Like I think
agreed. Agreed.
All right,
But it's
well,
delicious.
all right, we-
cheese curd.
Oh, it's
What
amazing.
we've taken away from
It's
this.
on French
I
fries.
just
What we've
threw up.
taken away from this is that you're not Canadian. Now you're going to go and
Rude.
say
I am not Canadian.
you're not Canadian, but you lived there for a while. It
did.
was fine for what it
What
is
was I
at the
gonna
end.
say?
You were talking about
Oh yeah, Battlestar.
Shooting.
Yeah.
And so basically, what I decided after Battlestar, after I did Battlestar, and then the 2 pilots that failed miserably on network television, because I don't really fit in a box very well, and they can only kick you and punch you into it so many times.
Very
before
few
you
can
kick
actually
and
fit
punch
in a
back.
box.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't enjoy it. So
it's true though, because like I literally just got a text from a buddy of mine who just started watching American Horror Story, and his text was, "It's amazing what they get away with on cable TV now. Like the stuff that they really can do. And
Right.
it's not just to push the buttons; it's to add to the story and to add to like the feel cinematically and all that stuff too.
Right.
And I assume that's kind of you feel more."
It's
Liberated.
It's
Yeah.
the same thing. I mean, on network television, they hire actors who are going to bring in an audience. They don't hire you because you can act. And so they tell you where to stand, they tell you what to do, they tell you how to act, they tell you how to say the line, and you know, by the time they strip everything away from you that makes you special, you're just a talking head.
Right.
And that's not ever what I wanted to be. So the sky is falling.
Yeah, we're gonna they're doing construction, so you guys are wondering what the hell that is. It's not Ellis trying to get in here.
It's such a shame, actually, because when you think of what, like, even the F-bomb drops in a joke, like, it adds so much depth to it.
It does.
Like, why wouldn't you want that? And how much, actually, in a network show, if they allow a quirky person to be quirky, it adds so much dimension, and they're rewarded for it.
And you got to feel the same way, too, from comedy side, as far as when you did It's Always Sunny. Like,
absolutely.
You feel that you're able to do so much more comedically than you're so handcuffed on network
That's
television.
right.
You're allowed to do whatever you want. I mean, I just did guest star on Workaholics.
Right.
Airs on
How'd
Tuesday
that go?
night.
Oh, is it this Tuesday?
It was
great.
kind of hysterical,
Okay.
and I think I said the F-bomb 14, 15 times.
So light.
Really?
So barely at all.
And I mean, this is 21
Murphy.
minutes.
Right.
Like, that is like an F-bomb every minute.
That's every 4 words. I
and
think
that's only me. That's not even the lead guy. So it was like massive amounts of swearing.
And you had a lot of fun doing it?
I had so much fun.
Can you tell us what the episode's about? Or?
Yeah. I think so. I mean,
we'll get back to Longmire in a second. But
sorry.
No, it's all right.
So my character is homeless drug addict.
Naturally.
Right? I mean, because that comes so naturally for myself. And Adam Devine's character decides to take me to a wedding with him. And a bunch of fun, interesting stuff ensues.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that also brings me up to another, you're talking about FX-wise. It's on FX, right? It was a Comedy Central. That's Comedy Central. But we brought up FX.
It's Always Sunny.
Yeah. And this is a funny story that we were talking about right before we started taping, was that we have friends from Schmoeville, Steven Azizi, who's on the league, and John LaJoie, who's on the league. They are huge the creators of the league are huge fans of Katee Sackhoff. So I had received a phone call, I guess it was about a month ago or so.
Yeah, it was probably a month ago.
And I had told Katee about it. I was like, listen, they're going to be in contact with you about this role. And then I don't know what happened. Kind of, can you run us through like?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was literally on the set of Workaholics on like my last day, and Christian called, and he was texting me like massive amounts of texts, and I was like,
classic Christian.
Like, I mean, like the text, it was
got me
like
in trouble in my younger years.
Monologue, and so finally he just called me. I think because I was so confused. I was like, "What are you talking about? The league? I don't have
a bookmark for this novel.
I don't know what's happening."
And trying to get somebody to work, and you just get
and then one text comes through before the other one, and then you're trying to respond, and it won't let you respond because the arrow is not stopping, and you're like, "He's still texting me? What a dick." And then he called and told me about it and said, be prepared for it, whatever. And so by the time I got home, or in the car on the way home, and called my manager, he goes, "Oh, we already passed on that."
You didn't even have a chance.
I was like, I didn't even look at it. And he
all
said,
those words wasted, Christian. You must have had finger cramps.
I know.
I literally probably what I wrote was probably more than what the role was.
What the role was. Yeah. It was a really small. It was a small role, I guess. And my manager was like, you just did this huge thing on Workaholics, and there's no need. And
who ended up getting that role?
I believe the Dushku,
Eliza Dushku got
the
that.
one and only.
Yes, who Katee actually has worked with.
I've worked with her, and she and I seem to run into each other constantly.
What is she like?
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
We're trying to get her on this podcast.
She's really quiet, and she's really shy.
Is she still dating B-Ball Jones? What's his name?
Rick Fox?
Yeah.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I saw them together. I don't really know beyond that. I mean, Eliza's really, really private, and it's something that is interesting, and you actually can respect from a child actor who's actually maintained a career, and she's incredibly intelligent and
she's also
really
in
sweet.
Diesel shape.
She's, what's interesting about Eliza though is that she and I go up for the same roles a lot. Like we actually just saw each other at the auditions for Iron Man the other day.
Oh, cool.
And she is 6 inches shorter than I am.
Really?
And I probably outweigh her by 50 pounds.
Wow.
And
she's tiny.
We're constantly going out for the same roles, and I mean, it's like I look like Goliath next to her. So
you're like the supermodel version.
Yeah, it's basically if they cast a tall guy, I get it. If they cast a short guy, Liza gets it.
Well, you guys can pull off like the tough kind of witty, and Well, that's funny. Can you talk about what the role was for Iron Man, or no? You can't.
For Iron Man, everything's so like
Quiet.
ironclad, quiet that they don't even give you real
Yeah.
sides.
Sounds irony.
Well, we had
Yeah.
it was just
It's very iron.
Catherine, this is before your time, but
What?
we had David Gambino.
Mark had a job.
This
Before his firing.
It's true. We had David Gambino on our podcast, who runs Robert Downey Jr.'s company, and he had talked about Iron Man 3 like briefly, and the websites went bananas over it. And then I think that Marvel, he didn't even really say anything, but Marvel was just like, even to him, was like, you can't talk that much. He's like, I didn't even say anything. So it was like,
You think they would want to actually release a little bit to get people
Right.
excited?
but do they need to? It's part
I
part
guess
3.
not.
Everyone's going to be there.
I just had a director say to me the other day, he was like, you do realize that about 6 months ago, you basically already implied that you had this job and we hadn't even met you. And I was like, well, it worked.
What job was that?
I can't even talk about it. And I was like, well, I mean,
So you could talk about it before you had the job.
Right, but
now
can't
that you
talk
got
about
the
it
job,
now.
you can't talk
She's
about it.
teasing
No, I
us,
can't.
and
I
I'm
can't
telling you,
talk
and
about
I know what she's going to do, now, and I'm going to throw this at her now because I have to ask. There's a rumor going around on the internet about you, Katie.
Are you pregnant?
Yes, that's what I wanted to know.
I am so not knocked up, it's not even funny.
Okay.
Continue.
Which is fantastic,
Okay.
thank God.
But their other one was that you got cast in a role. It's for a big franchise. It's called Riddick, starring Vin Diesel. Can you confirm? Wait, what was that? Was that a
That sounded like
what was that? What
no.
was that?
Okay,
Yes.
I
Wait,
can't
what was that?
really, I can't.
Wait.
There's not much to say.
She's on the ropes. I got her on the ropes. I got her on the
I'll tell you what, you don't have to say it, but
That's how you get pregnant.
on the ropes.
on the ropes. You don't have to say it, but nod yes or no, and we'll respond without words.
You guys are really bad. I'm
Oh,
literally
she-
not even moving.
She looks like looked back and forth. She's a pro at this.
She's a pro.
Be the
Her
thing-
eyes
'cause
said
it just,
yes.
Yeah, we got her in here right as this thing.
I said yes, but my body said
But your
no.
body said no. Classic rape story.
Ellis has heard that before.
It is
A lot of rape.
classic rape story.
Yeah, okay. So she can't talk about that. There's other stuff that you couldn't talk about last time.
Yes.
Enough time has passed, hopefully. Can you talk about Star Wars The Clone Wars finally?
Yes.
All right. Has it aired yet? Your episode.
I don't know.
Can you talk about who you play? You don't know yet.
I don't know.
Let's say
I
you
think
can.
I think I can.
Thank God she can talk about
Let's
it.
just you talk to Lucas, right? I mean, so
Yes,
it's all clear.
I cleared it with Lucas. He said he's going to actually, not only is he going to do that, but he's going to actually destroy episodes 1, 2, and 3 from existence.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Good
going to take
news.
them out,
Good
and
news.
and he's going to stop doing everything, and let actual people who know how to write do them now. So that's just
your opinion.
That's my opinion.
That is not Katie Sackhoff does not condone
No,
what
Katie
Christian
Sackhoff-
Harloff
no,
just
that-
said.
no.
Catherine agrees with everything.
No, my thing is that I'm you know how big of a Star Wars geek, you know how big of a sci-fi geek I am.
Biting my lip.
Yeah.
Now you can nod your head.
Now she
That's
can
right.
nod her head. Yes.
My body says no, and my eyes say no.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you want me to bring up the Ghostbusters girl with Kitty again?
Shut your mouth
All right.
and continue with the podcast.
Sorry. Okay. Star Wars. Let's say that it was cleared. What's the role?
I think that they showed it at. They did. So they already showed it
There you go.
at Comic Con.
Okay,
That my characters. I'm pretty sure I can. I'm pretty sure that people already know that they did a clip from my episode
During
at
Comic-Con?
Comic-Con, and I play a Mandalorian warrior,
Oh, cool. Very cool.
which is cool because she's like the first female.
Nice.
Yeah. Mandalorian,
That's
so
very
it's-
cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it one episode or is it?
It's more.
Oh, great. They do like these 3 or 4 parters,
They do.
and yet that's all you can say.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Listen, I've already said this many, many times that there are certain people that I don't care about pissing off in this business. Lucas
you don't
is not one
want
of
to
them.
piss off. I can piss
Agreed.
him off because I'll never work with him ever.
No, I don't want to
Yeah.
piss him off.
Right.
I want to ask permission. I want to be nice.
Yes.
And I want to
Play
cross
fair.
my fingers that,
The
he'll
Schmoes will
actually
send
put
him a
me
cheese
in movie
basket.
someday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, Lucas. I'm sorry.
We'll
No,
send him
I'm
a
not.
basket.
Okay, so we'll do that. No, I get it. Like if it was me, I'd be saying the same thing. But like for
gotta be
me, you
careful.
got to see where I'm coming from. Like this is a franchise that I swore by episodes 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and this is why I don't have Ellis here because I know this is kind of like if you guys started telling me about.
Careful.
I know. I'm just thinking about that. I'm like, let Ellis do all the
when
sexist
you're
stuff.
painting your nails
You know,
and wearing high heels.
when you're picking out shoes, you guys love shoes, right?
Love shoes.
Okay, so that's
and
not
cooking
sexist.
and cleaning.
Don't you? Especially toilets, right?
Oh my God!
Were
When
you-
I'm not cleaning a toilet, I'm baking a pie.
Guys, this is what happens when I'm by myself. I'm literally surrounded by 3 women right now, and I'm
Never been happier.
You're like estrogen
I'm not-
full.
Yeah, I shouldn't complain.
Boner alert.
All right, but she opened up a lot about that stuff. Now, you can definitely talk about Batman Year One now because
for sure.
because this is something that's out on DVD and Blu-ray. You guys can get it now. I hear our buddy Chris Stuckman had told us about. They said it's one of the best animated Batman like ever.
I loved it, and I'm not a huge fan of animation. To me, it's still a cartoon. I mean, my brain, it doesn't wrap around it
My
yet.
wife is the same way.
Yeah.
Like she just can't get into it. And I'm just like, I was literally
super
watching.
animated, yeah.
You are.
I love
I was
animated.
watching. I literally was watching Clone Wars before I got here today because I'm a nerd. And I was watching it, and she's just like, "Really? This is what we?" She's like, "Before you leave, Clone Wars?"
She's
really?
like, it's a cartoon.
Yeah. And she's like, she just can't.
You have it with breakfast. That's a little more extreme than me.
Well, yeah. Well, I had coffee.
Listen, I had
breakfast,
some coffee.
Yeah, and Clone Wars.
It's what one does.
That's what I do.
Now, wait, what did you do on Batman?
I played Detective Sarah Essen.
Great name.
Who, right?
Yes.
And she has an affair.
Uh-oh, sexy.
Yeah.
You're always scandalous in the stuff that you do. You notice that?
Have you noticed
You're
that
scandalous.
I play a whore in everything
You're
I
very
do?
scandalous.
And
Like
in person, I mean, you're gorgeous, but you're so pure and lovely. I don't picture you having affairs with the wrong people.
She made the same face she did when you asked her about.
That's right. Yeah. My mom probably paid you to say that.
Wait, what?
It's totally fine.
So your character has an affair with somebody?
With Commissioner Gordon when he's actually a lieutenant. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
So Gary Oldman.
So right,
That's right.
exactly.
You're
So
banging Oldman.
I am.
Right.
So my character literally gets. She basically gets shipped out. It's like, and he's
Again,
got
they're
a wife,
shipping you out again. Not
pregnant
from
wife,
Philly this
and
time.
you leave.
No kidding.
It's like, yeah, my character just kind of like is like, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna bow out gracefully and kind of just go home.
So
And
what happens? She gets into some shit?
She literally just disappears because
Wait.
she's like, she's like, I had an affair. I know I was wrong, and she like checks out.
In Batman?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Where does she
that's what I
go?
love
But
about
she's
this.
actually the person, like, as far as Year One is concerned, that figured out that Bruce Wayne was Batman.
Ah. Look at
Another
that.
reason they got to ship her off.
Right?
know.
Knows too
yeah,
much.
she knows too much,
wow.
and she's a hooker.
And she's got the seed inside her of
she
the
does.
commissioner.
You never know. Maybe
Wow,
there's another
maybe.
little
Yeah, you're
baby.
coming
year,
back with that
Year
baby.
two.
Year two. She's got a 3-month-old. It's
That's
awesome.
right. Oh,
Daddy?
wow. No, you got. We talked about that last time that you did. But it's fun to do the scandalous stuff. Though.
It
It's
is.
got to be.
You know, I just watched. I did. I voiced Black Cat in the new Spider-Man video game.
Mm-hmm.
And Trisha Helfer had done it the first time, which was quite funny. And she
Right.
was like, and she like didn't know. She's like, "You're doing what?" And I was like, "I'm doing Black Cat." And I was like, "They said you weren't available. Oh my god. Like I just stole a role from my best friend. Like
Right.
this is horrible." And she's like, "Fuck it, don't worry about it." So I went in and I literally played her like a hooker. Like she's like purring at all
Can
times.
you do her
And-
voice? I'm very excited.
I don't
right
even
now.
remember how I did it. It was like a cross between like Michelle Pfeiffer when she played Catwoman, where like
Yes.
everything was kind of, very like, yes, purring and low.
Right,
And
like
there's like
over the top.
There's extremely over the top. And her wardrobe's over the top. Like my breasts are 10 times bigger as this cartoon, or as this video game character. And like it's so
fans are
low
listening.
cut. It's like down to my belly button. Like it's like the J-Lo outfit she wore to the
Nice.
Grammys like years ago. But
You
it's
be
like,
wearing this in person ever, or no? Just on a cartoon.
I
Just in a
wouldn't
cartoon.
stay on me
Okay,
in
okay.
person. And one of the characters said that, or one of the
Thank God
write-ups
Ellis
said
isn't here.
that he would just have a field day with that one.
You want to go to the Olive Garden?
Oh my god, I love
Best
the Olive
date
Garden.
ever.
When Trisha Helfer and I did the motorcycle ride across the country, we literally ate at Olive Garden every night because it's like at all those highway hotels.
Very
There's like an
reliable.
Olive Garden right next to it.
He wants to be the spokesperson for Olive Garden.
Bottomless salad brought to you by Mark
love
Ellis.
it. I love it. I mean, you got to make healthy options. I don't know if you should eat a bottomless bowl of fucking pasta.
Right, and
I mean,
breadsticks,
hello, fat country.
The breadsticks with Alfredo sauce got me
Delicious.
through college.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's
It's
good
pretty
stuff.
pretty amazing.
So
Makes
you
me
did,
happy.
So all right, so
Yeah, so I
scandal
did that,
stuff.
and one of the comments on the website was that if they make her any more sexual, I will not allow my children to play this game.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, I did my job.
That's the
Job
thing. Yeah. So
accomplished.
Yeah.
let's see. Can we go? I mean, well, because Starbuck had her definite sexy romps,
Right.
And then you had the Nip Tuck character,
Right.
which was let's see, we had
I just did a movie called Sexy Evil Genius.
Oh,
which
okay.
I think I kissed all 5 characters in the movie. So I got
girls
to,
and guys.
Uh-huh.
Look at you.
Yeah, it was my
Wow.
first
Making
on
your rounds.
Yeah,
Wow.
right.
How was that? So wait a minute. So that your first time kissing a woman on?
It was.
How was it?
Yeah.
It was.
Is it crazy?
So I had to kiss Seth Green,
Okay.
who is
Very feminine as it is.
he's one of my dearest friends.
And you've worked on
and I
with
love
Robot Chicken.
his wife, Claire.
Okay.
And so it was, and Claire's so freaking cool that she was actually watching the cut with her husband, and during our makeout scene, she looked at him and goes, "I'm jealous of you." Yeah, she's just a really cool girl, and she called me and gave me tips before, and she's like, "He's a really good kisser," and I was like,
What tips did she give you?
like ways to make out with her husband. I was like, this is so weird and so wrong on so many levels. I never
Was she
thought,
like bite the lip? I mean, how do you give advice
she was
on
just
that?
like, she's like, have fun, go for it. And I was like, is that like licensed to?
I think she gave you the green light.
I think she did. She
Yeah.
totally gave me the green light.
You're welcome, Schmoes No listeners. You're welcome.
Yeah, so I made out with Seth, and then I made out with Harold Perrineau from Lost.
Yeah.
And Oz, fucking amazing
Right.
actor.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
really good.
I made out with Billy Baldwin.
Were you like just going around in a circle?
It was pretty interesting, yeah. And then
Spinner.
exactly.
Thank God for these roller
I
skates.
know, this is fantastic. It's so easy. And then Michelle Trachtenberg.
Nice.
Now, that one I think was actually, and they had that going around the internet, right? The
They
pictures and
did.
stuff?
Well,
Okay.
I tweeted a picture. First, I sent
Okay,
it to
maybe
my
that's what it was.
manager, and I said, "Can I tweet this?" And I said, "I'm in a bra in my underwear." And he goes, "Yeah, it's a bathing suit. Go for it." I was like,
and of
okay.
course, the internet went bananas.
Yeah. So
Is
it was
Michelle Trachtenberg a good
yeah,
kisser?
Yeah, how was that? So wait,
She is, but it's so weird for me because I actually just had this conversation with a friend of mine who is a lesbian.
can I say, not me to cut you off, but there was something that I just picked up because I go back time. You said it was the first time I kissed a woman on screen.
No, honey, you said that. You said that, and I said yes.
Oh, no, I cut you off before you had a chance, so I screwed myself.
Opportunity
So
closed.
we'll never know. We'll never know.
You'll never know.
Okay,
Her eyes
fine.
say yes, and her body says yes.
Fine.
It is one of those weird things where I am so not a lesbian that it's like when I'm kissing Michelle, my body literally shut down and
Didn't
was
know
like,
what to do,
I
right.
don't want to be here.
Where's your penis?
I know. I was like, do we have a penis of some sort anywhere? And then I was talking to one of my girlfriends who is a lesbian, and she was telling me that they call those girls pillow princesses.
Why is that?
Ooh.
Girls that lesbians, in quotation marks, that don't like to give, just like to receive, are
Interesting.
pillow princesses. And I said, well, is a pillow princess then, would you assume that she's really not a lesbian? And she said, yes, that's the assumption.
She's just selfish.
Well, she goes, I think my mom could be a pillow princess. And I was like, wow. I've never thought of my mom that way.
That's a lot.
You know, like
That's a
I don't
lot.
know if I could go there, but I am unequivocally not a lesbian. I've kissed a woman. There
And
was
you liked it.
nothing there. It kind of actually made me want to like go and find a man, any man, to make out with and grab his penis.
Wow.
Any man. I just wanted to remind her.
Yeah, the
you
craft
know?
service guy had a great day that day.
I wanted to be manhandled.
Yes.
You know, like just grab me and throw me down, please.
Remind me of my heterosexuality.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank
Well-
you.
Well, hey, I mean, Harold Perrineau's married too, right?
He is
So
married.
He's just like, no, we're not filming right now.
and I just had to do that the other day and do a sex scene with him and
Was this the other day?
yeah, we just
Oh,
did,
okay.
we did some pickup shots for
Oh,
it. And
cool.
What's it
Harold,
like doing a sex scene? It must make you so feel uncomfortable.
It's so weird, you know. It changes. Like you do them for a while. Like my first one was very, very, very nerve wracking, and then after a while, it just becomes like.
Do you feel any feelings when you're doing it? Like, I mean, does it get confusing at all, or is it all just so clinical?
You know, for the most part, it is clinical, and there really isn't any kind of like bodily reaction. But there are moments. I mean, you know.
I mean, you're making out with someone. They're grabbing you. of
Right. I'm
course.
not going to sit here and say that you don't get caught up in it,
Right.
but it never leaves it has never left my mind. I don't know about other people, but it has never ever left my mind that I was working and in a scene
Right.
and trying to convey something. So
Right.
it's, you know. But then again, it's a body, and you can't really turn it off.
course.
So
Right.
it's one of those things, you know. But it's
Your scene partners are going home and remembering probably a little more thoroughly.
right. I mean, I would say that every person I've done a sex scene with, I actually know their significant other.
Right.
And it's
Yeah,
like,
how is it? I mean,
Is
so
there rules about their significant others being on set?
no. I mean, I guess you'd think there would be.
There would
but-
be if they started throwing things.
I mean, if
should be.
Michael Trucco's wife had come over and smacked me in the face, yes, I would then I would draw a line.
Yes, game
Which one-
over.
A
was
firm
was
line.
Nip Tuck the craziest one?
The craziest sex scene I've ever
Yeah.
done. I was nude in that one, and I've never I'd never really been nude before in a sex scene. I think
so. It's crazy to you.
To me, it was.
Right.
But there wasn't really. We weren't even touching each other. Like there was like a good foot between Dylan and I. It was like there was a massive amount of space. I would say that like the craziest ones I've done, like the paint one with Lee Oben on Battlestar. Like I was, nude. And like it was covered in paint, but he had pants on, so it was like, I mean, it's you never really.
That was a manhandling scene.
It was a manhandling scene, and I actually after that scene went and sat in the shower at in my trailer and just like sat on the floor
and cried.
Like, I didn't cry, but I definitely felt, oh my God, like this is like one of those moments where you're like, we're like, well, I have rug burns on my ass. That was crazy, yeah. So I mean, there's been some crazy ones. I don't think there's been any where I've been. I don't know. I don't remember ever doing one going, ooh, that might have crossed a line.
Yeah, I would get so confused. I think I would leave and feel attached to all these guys.
I think if an actor actually like grabbed my breast and started kissing it, I would be like, oh, this is wow,
and
this
that's
is
funny
weird.
Though, and that happens, and I think like, how does that like? I guess as an actress, I mean, sometimes you're so into it, but like you said, like it's hard to be. You're in the role, but there is that part of you still noticing it, like, and it's like.
Right.
You get a crazy, like, you get a director, like, we had Sam Levine in here, was telling stories about Tarantino. And, like, if Tarantino is filming you and you're not stopping if the actor in the scene.
Penetration might happen.
It might happen. Otherwise, you're not working with Tarantino again.
You might be doing Brown Bunny all over again.
You will be shipped home.
Brown Bunny was the most insane thing of all
I
time.
literally watched that movie just for that scene.
Who didn't? That's exactly.
I almost decided to like screen capture it to like have it be like my like go-to porn because then I wouldn't have to pay for it ever again. It was literally porn.
It's porn.
It was.
That's all it was.
And it was the craziest thing was it was porn with a good actress.
Well, that's what's crazy. And what's even more crazy is that her career never suffered.
No, because she's a good actress, and that was the thing.
You believed it.
But I can't. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard not to believe her with a cock in her mouth.
You believe it.
Like, hey, I believe you.
She really delivered the line well.
I believe that is a penis in her mouth. Wow, she's fantastic.
She is such a good actress.
Oscar.
I really believe that penis.
Right. She won the AVN though.
Bring in the stunt cock.
No, you stay. Your mouth remains.
You stay. We're
This
bringing in the
episode
stunt
on
cock.
the Schmoes Know Stunt Cocks.
What was the first thing you ever did with that stunt cock of yours?
It's pretty funny. There's my God. So Eddie Olmos, I think I've actually told this story before that when they did the movie The Plan that I wasn't in, that he directed. No, wait, not The Plan. He directed one movie or episode or something. I don't remember what he directed, but it was a scene that I wasn't in. But supposedly it was one of the movies, so they were allowed to show penis and breasts and things that we couldn't show on Battlestar Galactica.
Right.
And Eddie at one point actually screamed, "Bring in the cock! We need more cock!"
It's like Christopher Walken screaming about the cowbell.
Right. It was pretty funny.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, I mean, this all stemmed from the fact that that cable TV.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's where it started, though. It started from cable TV being able to push the limits, and that's how we can get back to Longmire.
Yeah, there we go.
Back to cock.
And it goes full circle with cock and Longmire.
It's true. There's a lot of cows.
There's some cute boys on Longmire, I gotta tell you.
So you don't know yet about who you're...
Well, the character... If we follow the books, my character ends up with Walt Longmire, who's played by Robert Taylor, phenomenal Australian actor.
Okay.
Hello.
He's amazing, and he's gorgeous. He just had a baby girl. I know his wife.
Right.
Again,
and they're married.
And
But
he's
you know
a
what?
lot older
I bet you
than
that
I
makes
am,
it
too.
easier, though. I bet you it makes it easier.
Does make it easier.
Because the thing is, too, that's when you understand like how all these people kind of start falling for each other, and you get these short Hollywood like relationships and stuff. Because you have like, let's say you had a sex scene, regardless of what is in the characters. You guys are both single. It's crazy. It's like you're both human beings. So if it's really hot and crazy, there's going to be something there. And but now you're like, oh well.
There's a baby. There's a baby.
There's a baby involved.
Yeah,
yeah.
So that it's easier. So I assume that's got to help.
It is easier.
So
yeah,
you got lucky. Actually,
it does help because I've known every single one of them, so it makes it easier. But there's some, but they're talking about because they went different ages for the TV show than that are in the book. I think I'm a little younger than the character in the book, and I think that he might be a little younger as well. I'm not quite sure, but
so basically it's TV versus book.
I'm 31 and I think he's probably 50. So there was an age difference there that on film they may decide to put me with Bailey Chase's character, who is like kind of stupid gorgeous, and it makes me.
And he's younger.
Is he married?
No.
Cable.
I know. Hello, Cable, living vicariously.
right.
He is hotter than shit. Have you ever seen Saving Grace?
No.
Oh my God in heaven!
Can we
Damages.
pull up a photo of him?
Sure.
Pull up a photo of Bailey Chase.
And then I'm going to need to be alone for about 8 minutes.
It's kind of stupid, actually. Like, I think the first time I saw him and realized that he was going to be on the show, I was already naming our children.
Let's see this guy. Oh, Jesus.
Right?
Look at that bone structure. What the fuck?
Oh, you should see his body. It's stupid.
Yeah, I hope you make out with him, and then I hope you write
Right?
about
Tweet it, right?
Take some
Listen,
photographs.
if I ever make out with that man, I will tweet
And live to
about
talk
it.
about it.
I will tweet about it, and I will write about it in my memoirs.
Now, let's
someday.
say you do have to make out with him. Do you say, like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous? Or do you play it cool and be like, I don't even care about this? Come in.
No,
Hey,
listen.
Catherine, look at that.
If right?
This showed Catherine a picture of this dude
all of
with
a
a cowboy
sudden,
hat
I'm
on.
just hearing the song "You Can Leave Your Hat On."
Is it weird that
You know?
I don't like the hat?
Ellis, I miss you. Come back.
The hat for me is too much.
Wait! You're gonna have to search some pics from Saving Grace,
really?
and there's pictures of him naked with shaving cream all over his body.
No, come on. This is still the
See that
Schmoes No
bit.
podcast, and I will have order.
I like how Katie looks over at the screen. She's like, "Naked shaving cream? What?"
I mean, this
Awesome.
is okay.
The
so-
hat ruined
Like
it.
I've had a few dreams about the kid. I got to tell you.
It's real.
all right. That was my point exactly.
Well, no, but listen, when you're both single, you're allowed to.
Right. Well, yeah, of course.
Duh.
But that's
I think-
it'll probably add to the chemistry of the characters.
That's
as well.
right. We're going to
So-
love watching it.
But this is how awkward is this? Let's say you get two people like that, and then you have a relationship like Michael C. Hall and
Deborah
and then-
Morgan.
Deborah
and then
Morgan.
they break up?
Yeah, because
and then
now
one gets
they have,
cancer,
Yeah, they have-
and then one
I mean,
survives
listen.
cancer.
Right, but that's the thing. And then right
Right.
afterward, then they break up, and they have all these scenes. They have to keep having scenes unless she dies.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
but they
thank God
play
they're
brother and
siblings.
sister.
But
It's
that's-
not like
but they
he's
still-
gonna boner on
No,
the show.
but they're still in every scene together.
But
they
there
had
was,
yeah.
but there was a season, even though they were siblings, where you were like, these guys want to kiss a little bit.
But even
Yeah.
so, they
Right?
have like this
No, you like to
relationship.
keep the
They're-
audience guessing.
That's right.
Let's say they hate each other. Like everyone in
Not
this
the
room.
same mother.
Well, I mean, it's happened before. I mean, look at Chad Michael Murray and Sophia Bush had to do
Had to
it.
keep doing
You
right.
know, so it does happen, and
But they at least had supporting characters. Dexter is in every freaking
Yeah.
thing to where.
But it's fun to watch as an audience, even if
Of
they
course
do
it
break
is.
up.
Of course
You're
it
like,
is.
oh.
I've got to say, I actually have a speaking relationship with every single person I've ever dated, if I chose to, because none of them have ended horribly.
Right.
So
Right.
But this is rumored that it ended horribly. I don't know.
Rumored.
Rumored.
right?
I believe
stop,
everything I
Stop
hear.
reading fucking TMZ.
I
dude.
believe. I watch TMZ. Okay.
Whatever.
I don't read it.
Whatever.
we're in the 21st century.
I
read the
do
newspaper.
believe that Kim Kardashian faked her wedding, though.
See, it's rumored.
I do.
It's rumored.
Well, she did. It's now coming out that from the beginning, right? She wasn't into it.
It's ridiculous.
She was like
I
questioning
happen
it for the
to.
first
I happen
second.
to agree with you.
I think that the entire country should boycott
Her.
like buying magazines that they're on the cover of.
But
Right.
also another one who made it from a sex tape.
Right?
She made it. I mean, that's
She was
I'm
talking
I'm
about
not
the other day
only one.
how
No,
she
you're
copied
not.
Paris Hilton to
her
road to
her
fame.
blueprint.
Forward her
Yeah.
career.
road to fame,
blueprint. More cock.
right?
That was it.
I just
my
couldn't
God.
believe there was an episode that I just happened to see. Like when you leave your TV on and you like go do
Sure,
stuff upstairs
sure.
and then you
Not
come back
TiVoed
downstairs.
at all.
I don't TiVo the Kardashians. What are you talking about? And I actually walked by it, and it was this episode, a repeat, I guess, where what's her name, the mom? I don't even know her name.
Chris.
Dope.
Okay,
I
Chris.
read somewhere.
Chris. How she wanted to actually legally change her name from Jenner to Kardashian. Like, are you kidding?
Oh my God.
Are you kidding? Like,
Sorry.
how
Be
does
professional.
I mean?
Sorry.
Your husband is Bruce Jenner. Would you
Right.
like to cut his penis off more?
Right.
That guy is
More than
gone.
it already is.
He's gone.
I mean,
yeah.
He is a blow up sex doll of a woman.
I mean, I don't know.
Ridiculous.
It's all, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. Is
He is
that-
hairless.
Yes, there's.
It's
He's like looks like he looks like a burn victim.
He was an Olympian.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
what's amazing about it is that he was an Olympian, like just an amazing athlete. But it's one of those. It's just it goes to show like how fucked up our country is and how
Yeah.
consumed with this crap we are.
Right.
That's just completely changed celebrity. And there is such a huge difference between being a celebrity and being an actor.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. We had one of our writers. I don't know. Yeah, you met him, Mark Riley, who writes on our website. He basically wrote this whole article about how a lot of our really good like male actors right now, especially, are all coming from like Europe. And
there's a lot of Aussies, a lot of Europeans.
Yes,
not mad about it
because they are all classically trained still, and because when over there they're still studying acting and the craft. Here, like Katie said, it is about celebrity. It is about the really big stars. Like look at the Jersey Shore and shit like that. It's and again, and we don't have a lot of the really big actors in film right now. That's something I would love to talk about, actually. Who do you think, out there, are the top actors? I mean, of course, you got the Brad Pitts and Matt Damon. But then
Hugh Jackman.
Australian.
That's what I mean. Yeah, Hugh Jackman.
Right, that's not Christian Bale and Fassbender. All those.
Isn't Hemsworth?
Fassbender, I'm sorry, probably on the top of who I want to work with.
He's awesome.
Oh,
did you see the newest X-Men?
Amazing.
Have you guys seen Shame yet?
No.
I saw it at the Toronto Film Festival. It comes out in November. And it is mind-blowing.
Can we talk about how hot he is? For 2 seconds.
Come back, Alice!
After you see this movie, you might think differently.
Oh, well,
it's a Steve McQueen film, so it's super artsy. It's crazy.
But that's what I love about actors, actors, is that you see them actually change their appearance. Michael Fassbender doesn't look the same in any one of his movies.
Right. No,
he's absolutely amazing.
Absolutely.
And the way they completely change themselves is phenomenal.
Yeah, he's another one. Like Fassbender, but as far as the American actors, if we have the up-and-comers, who do you have? You have Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Right.
He's amazing and underrated.
Now, if you have not seen 50-50...
no comedians? Comedians
no,
are
I mean...
No, comedians...
If they can act, then who do you got?
Well, I mean, there's Seth Rogen would be considered a main actor.
Well, yeah,
James Franco.
Franco... But the thing with Franco, though, again, Franco is good. He hit 127 hours. He was amazing.
Yeah.
But then
Ryan Gosling,
I was just going to say Ryan Gosling.
But Gosling has hurt his stock with the last couple movies that he's done.
Watch your mouth.
I gotta say, I just watched him in Crazy Sexy Love or whatever the hell it's
Stupid
called.
Love, yeah.
Thank you, that one. Last night, and I was just amazed by his performance.
We're talking about Gosling?
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. You're
talking about Reynolds.
I'm talking about Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
Ryan Gosling is not American. He's Canadian.
He's right.
Okay, well,
what?
It counts.
It's poutine.
It counts. You're influenced by the Queen.
Of course.
Counts.
Of course.
Okay,
I would actually argue that Canadians were
I just want to apologize to everyone right now because they're killing me. I know that they are. I'm a huge Gosling fan, as if you guys know in the reviews. But I was talking about Reynolds because Reynolds is another guy who's just Canadian as well, though, too.
Yeah.
But I have to cut this conversation off because
you're too aroused.
It's true.
Well, this is very true. But besides that, there's something, you guys know Jeremy Jahns. Everyone who's listening knows Jeremy Jahns. There's something that we're going to do here that you guys will have fun with, and I assume he has no idea we're going to do this.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to say.
Okay, we're going to tell you right now. So Jeremy Jahns, for you guys, no, you don't have to write it down. Jeremy Jahns is a good friend of our show, has helped us out tremendously over the years. He was the co-host with us for the You Reviewers Awards, which Katee Sackhoff is also a part of, and Catherine Reitman will be part of Part 2 this year.
Jumping on a bandwagon there, aren't you, Catherine?
That's right, she is.
Hello.
Katie, and I'll ask Katie right now. Katie, will you be returning for Part 2?
Of course.
There you go. There's the answer for that
Only as long as I have 4 movies coming out in the next 2 years, and if I get a bad review, I'm going to cut you.
Well, you can review it with us. How about that? That way we can't do a bad one.
If I review myself, that's
it was terrible.
Oh my God, that was the worst piece of shit I've ever seen.
That's right. So here's what we're going to do. Now, Catherine Reitman, who, if you guys have been listening over the last couple of episodes and have seen, Mark and I just did a segment on her show breaking it down,
and they were fantastic.
It was such a funny episode, and her team over there is so awesome. And Catherine, as she knows, we're a huge fan of hers. She is an up and coming. She's got 4,000 now, 4,000 subscribers.
We hit the big 4.
Kicking ass now, and
fantastic.
Yeah, and the thing is, someone had called her, and Chris Tuckman did a video about her. And someone had said that she is like the female Jeremy Jahns. So Catherine, being the pro that she is, was like, I'm going to send Jeremy a text and say, hey, listen, nice to meet you. Or was it not text, Facebook?
Yeah, I just Facebook messaged him being like, hey, big fan. And a few people I keep getting over and over again that I have similar rhythms to Jeremy. So I contacted him.
So I had talked to Jeremy on the phone. I said, Jeremy, I want you to call in. I want to talk about You Reviewers too. And Catherine Reitman is going to be there too. And he's like... And I was starting to tell him about her because I don't think he'd seen a lot of her stuff. I go, well, she actually messaged you. He's like, oh, I feel like a dick. And then...
Yeah, you forgot to mention he never wrote back.
Well, sorry, he never wrote back. And that's why he felt like a dick. And he is a huge Katee Sackhoff fan. I mean, if you guys saw You Reviewers awards. You mentioned his name at one point, and he comes back and goes, "Oh my God, she said my name!" And I was like, he did this whole thing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to call him up, and Katee Sackhoff is going to pretend that she's Catherine Reitman.
The ultimate prank.
Yes, and we're going to see how long he can, if he catches on, and basically she's just going to ask how come he never wrote it back. People have said, that she's the next Jeremy Jahns and wanted to talk to him. I want to see how long it goes on. If she can hold a joke better than I can.
If he does not recognize your voice, can we officially say he's not a proper fan?
I was actually going to say that you and I, we have a very similar tone in our voice.
And similar sexuality. I'm definitely as beautiful as you. Continue.
Are you definitely not a lesbian too? Because I feel like you're hitting on me.
I think they're going to kiss.
I kind of.
All right.
Is that weird?
So this is what we're going to try to do. We're going to call him right now.
I have to.
You have to leave for a second?
No, I was going to write down because when I get flustered and nervous, I forget names. So
you're attracted to
Reitman and Jeremy Jahns. I got it.
All right. Here, do you need it?
No, I got it.
All right. Jeremy Jahns, Catherine Reitman. Here we go. All right, we're gonna try it out. Here, first attempt at calling Jeremy Jahns.
I'm gonna be as bad as Christian is with
holding the joke.
This is his name.
Horrible, horrible, horrible.
Here we go. We're trying. Hey, Jeremy.
Yo.
Hey, man. What's up?
Hey, nothing much. How you doing?
Nothing. So we're live on the podcast.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so we're talking to Jeremy Jahns, the big man on campus, if you will, for the you reviewers, YouTube. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. Just watching that Storage Wars show. I don't had time to kill.
Oh, all right. And after playing that and Uncharted 3, you're
Saturday.
kicking ass.
Yeah, that was my morning. I played Uncharted 3, filmed my review of Uncharted 3, and cutting together my review while I watched Storage Wars.
I want your life. Okay, listen. Before we get into some of the stuff that we're going to talk about, I have to. You'd be mad at me if I didn't do this.
All right.
Now we know that there's always up and coming movie reviewers out on the that are coming out, and some are good, some are bad. But when you find a really good one, you want to celebrate it, right?
Yeah.
So we had, Catherine Reitman, who you now may or may not have heard of, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of her.
All right. So we have her here. She's our co-host, and she wanted to ask you about a certain message that was sent. And hold on one second. Catherine, go ahead.
Jeremy, hi.
How are you, Catherine?
I'm good. I'm wondering, I sent you a Facebook message.
Really?
Yeah. And you never responded. Everyone's been telling me that I'm like the female Jeremy Jahns, and then I reach out to you, and you snub me, man. What's that about?
I'm sorry. I get a lot of messages. I read it somehow, somewhere. I read that message because I always read those messages.
But you were too busy to respond.
Uncharted 3 just came out.
You read it and you were too busy to respond. I mean, I do that with my mother. You
look lovely today. I can't see you, but I'm sure you do.
Thank you. I've listened to you, and I know that you're a big fan of Katee Sackhoff, and you wouldn't have snubbed her.
Uncharted 3 just came. I might have for Uncharted 3.
Really?
That's really sad. She
That's probably
has a
100%
vagina.
a lie. You know what? I got to retract that because I'll bet you she's going to hear this and be like, "What a douche." No, never mind. I'll never.
It's totally fine. I actually already sent her a Facebook message, and she actually responded. And
she responded?
Katee Sackhoff responded to me, and she actually told me that she was a fan, and she didn't know who you were.
Well,
you cut deep. Well, that's really deep.
But isn't that the thing though too? It's like we can't get you. No matter every time we try. Jeremy is a huge fan of Katee Sackhoff actually because we had when we had you on, you co-hosted and you did a great job. It was some of the best ones that we've done, and you were bummed when she wasn't there.
Yeah, I was, because I told a bunch of people on videos, I was like, yeah, it's going to be awesome, Katee Sackhoff, and there's this one guy I know, he's really a friend of a friend, but he's the hugest Battlestar Galactica fan. If there's a grown man out there that wears Battlestar boxer shorts, it's this guy. I don't know if he does. I'm just saying. It was one of those things. I went out of my way to let him know I was going to meet her. It was going to be awesome. And yeah, she didn't get to make it out. I didn't tell him that. Like, God willing, he hates me enough to not actually listen to the podcast that I'm in and whatnot. So he doesn't actually know that I didn't meet her, and I'll just let him live his life thinking that I did.
Now, Jeremy, there's something else that I want to ask you about, too. I want to actually introduce you to Catherine Reitman, Catherine, say hi.
Hey, Jeremy.
Catherine, it's been a long time. It's been exactly a half a minute since you were haggling me
Has
about.
it?
Actually, no. You were actually talking to someone else. Katie, how are you?
Hi, Jeremy. It's Katee Sackhoff.
Oh my god! Wait a minute. All right, so.
That was awesome.
That was fun.
That's well played. Good job, sir.
Thank you. You got that's one of the better ones that I've got so far.
That was really good.
Yeah, so
That was well thought out.
I appreciate that.
I even had a script next to me, basically trying so I wouldn't forget
Really?
anything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was well thought out.
How long did it take you to put that together?
About 5 seconds.
I was so upset because I wanted you to introduce me as Katee Sackhoff, and I was going to say, I'm literally on the phone with you.
Oh my!
It's Katie.
Oh,
I think
man,
it's.
that's what people
Have
do.
so you know that I say literally every 5 seconds.
I've been sitting here for 35 minutes with you, so I pretty much got it.
Well, Jeremy, now you got your shot,
so
man.
funny.
We've been talking about some stuff just so we don't backtrack. We only have a couple minutes left. We're gonna, Jeremy's gonna come back and we're gonna do a whole thing on the U reviewers and Oscars and stuff. But now you're here with Katee Sackhoff, and we talked to her about Batman Year One.
Yes.
Did you watch any of it yet?
I have not seen Batman Year One. I was at Target and I was about to get it actually, and then I realized that I'm actually every bit as cheap as I say I am, and I didn't pick it up. But
apparently it's
but
great.
yeah, I
Sucker
know
said he
that I know that you're in it, and you play a voice in there, which is it's a
Now
Batman.
look how baffled he is now. You were so smooth.
Oh
and
my
everything.
God.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fun, and then Katie's here, and I'm like,
He was like flipping
I'm
a
so
coin and
glad
had a
the camera's
top
not on
top
me,
hat
because
on.
No, we
I
didn't- we didn't
see
put the-
just like the absolute absurdly shocked face that I have right now.
No, we gave you a good punked. We punked her like briefly, and I blew it.
not
in the
even.
beginning. I blew it in the beginning. We told her that Ellis got
Soft.
fired because of his voice.
I wouldn't even say that Christian did it. Like he actually blew it. He made it 30 seconds into the gag, and
So
he just
basically,
completely
classic Christian.
Yeah.
30 seconds in and he's
because I
blowing
didn't
it.
think about getting
He's
Jeremy
blowing
Jahns.
it after 30 seconds,
Hey.
and that's how you get someone pregnant.
I mean, what am I doing here? I'm leaving. But anyway, Jeremy, I also got a confirmation from both Catherine Reitman and Katee Sackhoff. They will both be joining us for You Reviewers too.
Oh, really?
Yes. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're very excited about it.
I think he's equally as excited probably for both of
Yeah,
us.
I
Well,
mean,
right.
I don't know if this is the highest high or the lowest low, or
Right,
like, in terms
it's
of
It's both, dude. It's both.
Well, I mean,
I love the emotional roller coaster I'm on right now. I avoid getting a girlfriend to avoid these emotional roller coasters, and here I am.
Well, I actually feel like I'm sitting next to you right now anyway, Jeremy, since I'm sitting next to the female Jeremy Jahns, who you decided to not
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie.
talk
Thank you
to
for
on
bringing that
Facebook.
up.
I
That's
just want to
very
bring
nice
it.
of you.
I want to bring it full circle and
Thank
take it
you.
home and say you're a dick.
Katie,
No,
I
anything
appreciate
you want to
that.
say to me, you can say to Catherine.
That's right.
That's right. Well,
Except I am a smooth operator over here.
yes, but in case you're wondering how the real conversation between Catherine Reitman and Jeremy Jahns is going to go down, you're going to have to tune in next week because that's when all of it is going to go down.
Get ready, Jeremy.
That's right. But Jeremy, we're going to see you. We're going to
gonna
hear
be
from
me
you
the entire
next
time.
week on the podcast. So we just wanted to thank you for being a good sport.
No, I'm impressed. Anytime someone can actually get me like that, that's my God, hats off.
Thank you, sir. I
I
appreciate
gotta
it.
buy you a beer next time I'm in LA.
Which will be soon, hopefully.
Yes.
All right, dude. Well, we'll talk soon.
Bye, Jeremy.
All right,
Bye,
definitely.
Jeremy.
Bye, Jeremy.
Nice meeting you both.
All right, now watch. I bet you in 10 minutes you're going to see a tweet from Jeremy. You
Yeah, oh my God!
go-
I
go-
talked to
go-
kid. I'm turning Battlestar on my Netflix right now.
all right, go bananas. All right, I'll see you later, bud.
Later.
That was fun. It worked.
That was fun. It worked.
Okay, good.
You
worked.
nailed that, by the way, Kate. That
It
was
worked. Well,
brilliant.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to
Brilliant.
go too far because then I knew that I'd put my foot in my mouth. So I just kind of like tried
It
to
was
do
just toes in the
enough.
mouth. It was perfect.
Yeah, it was
This-
perfect.
And this is why we have a pro on.
That's right.
That's right. I mean, this has been a really fun podcast.
Totally.
Yeah,
It's
Katie,
so nice
anything
that
that you
Mark's
want
not
to
here.
When Mark's
plug?
not here, there's actually like some form to it.
And you can actually talk and
Yes.
stuff?
Well, no, I mean, yeah.
He's
I
going
mean,
to be so
that's
mad.
true,
He's been
too.
getting mad because I've been jibbing at him lately sometimes. So
Yes.
he's been getting a little mad. But
He gets more sensitive.
Look, here's the thing about Mark. Mark is one of my
Hilarious.
best friends in the world. I could not do this show without him. He's great, and with a lot of things going on with us. But we'll let Katee Sackhoff, please. Anything else you want to talk about? I know Logmire. When is it? January, February?
Oh, Haunting in Georgia should be coming
Okay.
out. Should be coming out soon.
Okay.
Just saw a cut of that. That was really good.
Good.
Sexy Evil Genius. Hopefully, we'll get into Sundance. The show will probably start airing next August or something. Next
that's
July,
on
August.
A&E?
A&E.
Oh, next August. Okay.
And there's about 3 movies that are in the hopper that I can't talk about. So
You tease us.
that I haven't started.
You tease.
I just did a cameo in a movie with Anna Kendrick.
Nice.
So yeah, kind of fun.
Very cool.
Well, good. And Catherine? I know Catherine, you can always find her on
Breaking it down
youtube.com
with Catherine Reitman.
Catherine Reitman.
The female Jeremy Jones.
The female,
Also known as the female Jeremy Jones.
that's right. Now, guys, you
Also
can
known as
also...
Katee Sackhoff.
Another thing that we'd love for you to do on iTunes is to make sure that you rate this podcast, comment on it, let us know what you thought. You can always find us, youtube.com/schmoesknow. Twitter,
and check out the
Facebook.
schmoes on Breaking It Down last week.
Yes, well, we're going to talk about that again because we wouldn't get to cover that, but we will definitely talk about that next week. So,
And if you have any complaints, don't send them to me because I don't give a shit.
No, don't. But
Handled. Well handled.
Thank you. I don't care anyway.
Healthy.
I will not respond to
Healthy.
your Facebook message.
Katie's our... Well, are you... No, you have to be our first guest to come back 3 times. We've had repeating guests. But we need a 3-timer.
All right.
All right.
3
Need
times
more
a
of you.
charm.
More,
Katie,
please.
as always, it was very nice to see you again.
And nice to
talk
meet you.
Nice
Yes.
to meet you, too.
Thanks for playing me so beautifully.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for listening, as always, and we will talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.